6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Kryptonite Show. Your host Superman in the house. We're getting into the good time of the year, folks. It really is going to be pretty fun. And here in New Zealand, it is the 30th of September. It is midday. It is, I think, fairly sunny outside, but still a bit cool and crisp. But we are slowly, crossing the seasons, heading for that summer boom down under, and we can't wait for that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, let's get into it. It's going to be pretty cool. The other thing, of course, is don't forget to smash. That sounds like Max Headroom. Smash the subscribe button on the way in. That'd be pretty cool. And hit the follow button. But that is the show there. Share it around on X. Helps a lot. So let's go and hit that repost button. And getting going. I don't know what's happening. Having a bit of a Max Headroom show today. Anyway, let's get into it. We're going to talk about the stock market. Monday results were green. We got crypto is green on the bounce back, and we've got PulseChain also pleasingly is green as well. So it's kind of cool. Good news all around there for the old crypto. And look, we might even go and visit good old, I don't know, we might go visit, I don't know, somebody. We might go visit somebody. Now, we're going to have a look at the pulse chart and deep dive onto that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, let's see. Where are we going here? We're going to go to stock market first. All in favor? All in favor stock market. Let's go. We're going to review the Gladiator Games Tournament 3 results. And, of course, Gladiator Games Tournament 4 is coming up in the weekend. And I hear a rumor. I don't know if it's true, but I hear a rumor that the prizes might even be bigger than they were for Tournament 3. So keep a lookout for that. Jason is working hard over there on Gladiator Games. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to have lots of launches this quarter. We're going to have lots of launches in October. Are we going to get X Game? We're going to get Coinwell. Are we going to get Mafia full game Mafia on there? Are we going to get Giza Mafia game? Are we going to get what else? Are we going to get Signum? Are we going to get Are we going to get what's the other one? Tetra. We're going to get Tetra. And lots of launches. Are we going to get them all? Are they all coming this quarter? Could be. All right. Fun aside, let's get into the stock market and check out on the results there. I'm trying to get myself in right spot here. So we've got the S&P 500 closes higher ahead of upcoming jobs data. So jobs data coming up. We've got Dow Jones up 0.15%, 68 points to 46,300. We've got the S&P 500 up 0.25%, 17 points to 6,661. With the Nasdaq there up 0.5%, 107 points to 22,600. So those are our top three indexes there. And the US dollar is down just slightly at 97.63. Always remembering the benchmark was when Trump came in at 108. So we've got the commodities right now. West Texas at $63 a barrel. We've got Brent oil at $66.77 a barrel, down 3.5%. So, Trump was talking about getting a gallon of petrol down to $2, and it's heading down there. I think it's, what is it, $2.50, $2.70? Let me know if you're in the United States, exactly where it is, what it is, where you are. Gold right now is down $3 at $3,859. So it is heading up to, trying to break that 4K mark, which is astonishing. So it truly is on a rally right now. The reserve banks, the central banks have been buying a lot of gold, right? We can see on the chart there, it is at all-time highs, pretty much just down off the top. A couple of dollars, but pushing it higher. And we've got silver. The silver at the moment is at $46.98, almost $47, and that is exciting. Now, that's breaking some pretty big milestones there. So if you've got a bag of silver, it's looking good for you, and we're expecting this to actually move into a hyper rally. So between $75 and $125 on the old silver. We're at 47 now. So it really is on a tear right now, the old silver. So like I say, under the golden age of America, we are expecting a boom in stocks, a boom in crypto, boom in commodities. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Let's scroll down here a little bit here. So we've got attention is turning to the unveiling of September's non-farm payrolls, so not the farms, reports on Friday. This could provide a glimpse of the state into the American labor market. Of course, you guys know the Federal Reserve's watching that. Supporting a cooling jobs picture has been a focus of the Federal Reserve policymakers. When the central bank slashed interest rates by 25 basis points earlier this month, officials widely suggested that a need to prioritize the slowing employment situation over signs of sticky inflation. Now, inflation's been stuck at around about 2.9%, if remember. A collection of rate projections from the Fed also showed that many members are anticipating further drawdowns towards the end of the year. Before the end of the year, I should say. In theory, cutting rates can encourage investment hiring, albeit at the risk of driving up prices. Now, we're obviously expecting a rate-on environment now that we've started having interest rate cuts. We are expecting, 2 more by the end of the year, and maybe 2 or 3 at the beginning of next year. So, we'll see how that goes. Economists are anticipating that the US added 51,000 roles this month compared to 22,000 in August. The unemployment rate at the same time is expected to equal August's level of 4.3%. Observers have predicted that given elevated inflation data, a strong jobs reported. When I say strong, and when I'm saying an elevated inflation data, I mean they're comparing it to the 2% target, which is kind of a little bit arbitrary, but that's what it is. A strong jobs report could persuade the Feds to roll out further rate cuts at a more measured pace. So there we go. Traders are currently pricing in roughly 40 basis points of Fed easing by the end of 2025, around 25 basis points below the level seen earlier this month. A jobs number less than 75,000 will probably keep the Fed on track for a rate cut at its next meeting on October 29th, but something greater than 115,000 with the core PCE just below 3% could spur Fed Jerome Powell and his colleagues to skip a reduction at the gathering, analysts at Vital Knowledge said in a note. So that's pretty interesting. So obviously they're expecting 51,000. If we get something less than 75, that rate cut in October is probably still on track from their point of view. So that's pretty interesting insight there. Yet worries remain about the possible US government shutdown this week, which may delay the publication of jobs numbers. Obviously, Democrats are playing games, right? Playing games. And every game they play seems to be putting them in a worse position. So they're pretty dumb. Yeah. But yeah, look, the Democrats on the left are pretty stupid, right? So that's pretty much where to. Yet worries remain that a possible US government shutdown this week may delay the publication of the job numbers. So that's the other thing I think they talked about. Let's see here. Let's see what else we got here. So congressional lawmakers are currently facing an impending deadline to pass the stopgap funding bill before the fiscal year ends on Tuesday. The federal government would enter its 15 partial shutdown there since 1981. Republicans currently control both chambers of the Congress, although the votes of some opposition Democrats would be needed to pass the legislation. However, Democrats have so far rejected the short-term bill, calling for any potential bill to reverse Republican reductions to healthcare programs. Leaders from both usual lies and lies and more lies from the Dems. Leaders from both parties in Congress are due to meet with President Donald Trump, Republican, at the White House on Monday, discuss the matter. I don't know who writes some of these things, but anyway. Speaking to Reuters over the weekend, Trump said he has the impression that Democrats may want to reach an agreement. So that's kind of where we are right now. Now, the other big thing, of course, is AI right now, and NVIDIA, of course, climbed 2% as the chip maker continues to recover from the recent rout. There we are. Video game developer Electronic Arts jumped more than 4% after agreeing to sell itself to private investors in a deal worth around $55 billion. That's pretty interesting, actually. Many of you would have played electronic art games over the years. So that's pretty much it on there. Obviously, gold reaching record highs at 3,800. Pretty crazy. Ongoing bets that the Fed will continue to lower interest rates also buoyed the yellow metal. There we go. So that is pretty much it around the markets. Quickly look at the rate monitor here. Federal rate monitor, and see where that is. Expectation 4 weeks and 1 day and 18 hours to go, so just over a month. And we've got 93% of the market expecting 25 basis point rate cut at 4%. We'll see whether that non-farm payroll employment data coming out on Friday makes any dent. Less than 75K. Apparently interest rates cut still on there from the analytics. So there we go. There we go. All right. So that is pretty much the stock market and the economic news. Let's see who else has jumped in the chat. Here we got Sean in the house. Hey, good to see you, Sean. Morning all. Big shout out. And we've got also Q Baller as well. Morning all as from a Q Baller too. Welcome everybody. Don't forget, if you're on X, don't forget to take a moment to share the show around on X. That really would be a lot of help, as we say. It's currently midday here on the 30th September, still the 29th, I guess, in the US. And we really got Uptober coming. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Uptober, the talk of the town. And of course, a lot of people, including Raoul Paul, I don't know if he's a billionaire, but he's certainly worth hundreds of millions. And that is, he's talking about the 5-year race, moving from 4-year to 5-year cycle, right, which would move us into 2026, which we already expect, right? We've been talking about that for ages on this show. We're extremely excited about the golden age of America and all the fundamentals. We've gone through it time and time again all year, so we're not surprised there. We will have to take into account the period of time, regardless of the U.S. economy, that Trump is in power and through his administration. So once you get up to that sort of 50% of the way through his term, then the vultures come, or the vultures come despite. It does it regardless, even if he makes the most golden age of golden ages. We're going to take into account on the second half of his term. All right, succession, as we say. We got a lot of cool stuff happening in any case up to that point, so we're not worried about that right now. We were looking at the good upside right now. So let's get into the crypto. And let's go full screen on this baby. And let's have a look and see where the market is right now. So we're back over 4 trillion. That is the good news. So we'll take that. We'll take that. We got Corpto Stylist in the house there. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome. And we've got, up 2.9% today. So a nice little jump in the crypto markets. We've got 18,902 coins. The number of coins keep going up on CoinGecko. Bitcoin right now is sitting at $114,274 at 1.9% today, which is kind of cool. Ethereum there is up 2.2% at $4,222. Number 3 is XRP up 0.7%, $2.89. BNB at number 5 up 4.4% at $1,030. So yay, BNB is back over 1,000. That's got to be a good thing. Eddie says Uptober pump incoming. Woo! You got to get excited about that. We're going to deep dive into that in a minute. We're going to get there. We got BNB at number 5 is, as we say, over $1,000. Solana at number 6 at 1.6% at $213. Number 9 is a Doge, down 0.3% actually, 23.6 cents. And wrapping up our top 10 is Tron, just edging it up there 0.5% to 33.7 cents. So they're our top 10. And let's have a look at the best performer over the last 24 hours has been, do we get a drum roll? Do we have drum rolls? I think we do. BNB up 4.4%. You guys knew that, you could see the screen, but there we are. That's the play. Best performer over the last week is also BNB up 5%. Not too bad. XRP close, up 2.5%. Best performer in the top 100 over the last week, I should say, is MYX Finance at number 51. They're the best performer, up 74%, so pretty cool. Aster is sitting at number 50, being the talk of the town. That's up 32% right now. We've got Quant at number 95, is up 15%. And you've always got to have a good quant. Have you ever seen the Big Short? You always got to have a good quant. Good quant. And Mantle at number 35 is up 13%. And number 5, best performer over the last week is up 11.7%. That is Immutable, sitting at number 97. So there we go. We've got a couple of 50s and a couple of high 90s. And we've got Mantle there as well. So there we go. That's the top performers. Let's jump over to the top 1,000. We've got Adam 1. We got Manu and Look. Those 3 are the top performers in the top 1,000, apparently. A quick look at Adam 1, as we do. Sitting at number 505. It's been around since February this year. It's just coming off the bottom after a big landslide all the way down all year. That would have been pretty miserable, wouldn't it? But it's bounced off 17 cents up to 92 cents. So it's kind of cool news. Adam 1 on its own chain, is it? Security-driven interchain hub, apparently. So that is cool. Interchain. Oh shit! I lost the whole thing there. What happened? That's the way it goes. We got Menu. Let's quickly go back to there. Sitting at number 829, and that's been around since when? 2nd of July, and it's just coming up here. So a couple of months, and coming off the bottom, local bottom, I should say. Well, let's take it from here. Back on the 16th of September, it was it 8 zeros or something like that, 1500. It's now at 7 zeros, 4700. There we go. That's on ETH chain. And then finally, what else we got? So it looks like a meme coin there. Orderly is number 3 there. Let's see where that's ranked. Number 478. It's been around since August last year, and the bottom was pretty much around 7 cents. It has got some violent chart. That's an extremely violent chart there. It's at 38 cents right now. Looks like all-time high right now as we speak on Ethereum chain, and it's got a website called orderly.network. So we've got a look at this. The permissionless liquidity layer for Web3 trading, powerful SDK, seamless integration with builders, unified liquidity, superior performance for traders. So there we go. It's in the DeFi space. 148 billion in trading volume apparently. Open interest is 58 million, which is pretty good actually. We need some protocols like that. We need some protocols with some open interest like that. So some longs and shorts, no doubt. So there we go. That is kind of cool. So that is order. So those are top gainers in the top 1,000 right now. Trending is Aster, Falcon Finance, and Plasma. Got to have some good plasma. There. But that is our overall market. So 4.025 trillion. Let's jump over to the Bitcoin chart, and you guys know this has been our faithful friend, and of course we've been onto it right from the beginning. Trump's three-legged stool strategy. Remember, tariffs, taxes, and regulations, or deregulations, as some might say. And it's been playing out pretty well with a few little hiccups on the way, but essentially the direction has been a tour de force there. Who's jumped in the chat there? We've got Eddie in the house there. Hey, good to see you, Eddie. We've got 2 Eddies in the house there. Hey, and welcome. So we're up, we're busted past the 50 moving average, the yellow line, which is awesome, right? So that was sitting at 113,368, and we're at 114,375. So we're basically $1,000 above that, which is awesome. And we're well above the 200-day moving average at 106,360. So what we're $8,000 above the 200-day moving average right now. That's really cool. Looking pretty good. What else we can say about that? That is kind of cool. We've got lots of cool stuff coming towards the end of the year. So we've got Clarity Act. We've got crypto report and regulations, possibly altcoin, Bitcoin buying strategies, possibly. So we've got a lot around crypto. We've got the SEC and the NASDAQ stuff happening. So there's a lot of stuff happening to support crypto that's going to help open up new capital and pump our bags, pump our bags there, and that's going to benefit us all through next year as well. So cool. Yeah, pretty much it. So that is where we are. And interest rates, cuts, risk on. Everything is lined up, guys. There's not much else to say. Trump, of course, they're talking about 20-point peace plan today with the old Gaza there and Hamas terrorists. So we'll see where all that lands and whether they accept that step down with the UAE being the broker of peace there, and along with the rest of the Middle East. We shall see how that goes. Even if we get a temporary peace for a period of time, a few years, that'd be something, wouldn't it? We'll see what happens there. That is $114,349. That is where we are on the old Bitcoin. The better gold, as it were. So keep a lookout for that. And now, Bitcoin returns. Now, talking about Uptober. This is where we're getting into Uptober. And we can see here on a CoinGlass, we've got October looks green, right? So green 24, 23, 22, 21, 2020, 2019, all green for October. That's why they call it Uptober. We've only had 2 red months. One was 2018 and the other one was 2014. And the rest of the time we've had green. And often we can see upwards of 40% yields there, 47% back in 2017. So it's game on, a very Uptober type month. In fact, November's not too bad either, right? So look at November. November also often quite green as well, more green than not. So it's looking very, very exciting for the end of the year. December, mixed bag. but I'm still expecting December to be very green as well. But we'll see. This whole quarter here looking pretty good. So October is upon us. We've got the quarterly results there. You can see that the last 2 quarters from the previous years have been green. So looking good there as well. We're talking about 47, 56%. So keep a lookout for that. Green, green, green. October is here. The yellowtail says October pump power. Yeah, that's right. That's what we're looking at there. DDN Hexkin as well says my main man, Superman. That's true. That's true. So nice. That's all we can say. That's all we can say. All right, so that is October is upon us, guys. So I hope you got your bags packed. Got your bags packed because October is coming. Now, did you enjoy that little last dip, the little manipulation? We got manipulated completely last Sunday. Remember that? It was complete utter manipulation there. And we've had some pretty interesting players. The big players, the big believers have been buying. And we're going to talk about that next. Should we talk about it now? Okay, let's do that now. All right, so we got Ethereum price here. We got our boxes. What the heck are these boxes? Well, the first box, of course, is when the Strategic ETH Reserve entity started buying Ethereum. And look at that. Woo! Boy, did it have good times. Now, it's been consolidating. And in fact, we had a sell-off, a manipulated sell-off here. And then, of course, we've got buying happening right now, which is pretty cool. We're expecting buying all into the second box too. So the first box, phase 1, phase 2 is where we are in October, and that's kind of when we're expecting this big buy. Now, we did expect to potentially have a dip, and it's played out pretty well, isn't it? Look at that, pretty well played out. So now we're expecting the October, the big boom quarter that we just looked at in that previous coin glass. So that's kind of where we are right now. We've got some good stuff happening too. We've got all that bullish crypto stuff happening from the White House and from the SEC, etc. So that is going to support the whole move to the upside. So we got $42,222 right now on ETH. We are just tapping just above the 50-day. So we're at about $10 above the 50-day right now, which is at 4,214. And we got the 200-day at 3,400. So we're about $800 above the 200-day there. So everything's looking pretty good. And we're looking forward to altcoin season. That's what we're looking forward to. So that is pretty cool. And this is where we're going to get the banana part of the curve starting, right? That's what we're after, that banana part where magic money is made. And all you have to do is one thing. Make sure you sell into it. Don't try and time the top. You're trying to get the rollover at the top, but you can sell into it. Now, that's, I think, quite some time away still, but just take note of that. All you have to do is be the winner. Don't be the... what happens when when it gets the magic money, you get up the top? What happens? Well, they used to call it gold fever. This time you can call it, I don't know, crypto fever. Don't get the crypto fever. The crypto fever is where it goes up and you make mad gains and you think, oh, it's going to double and double, double. And I end up with a super yacht at $300 million. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. All right. So remember, that's your one thing. Sell the magic money when you got the magic money, or sell into it. You can DCA out of it. That's another way of looking at it. All right. So that is that we're up now, $4,223 right now. We've been waiting for this moment. We have been waiting for this moment, and we're upon the doorsteps of greatness. There we go. That is kind of cool. So let's have a look at some of the stuff that's been happening. Now, as you guys know, that Strategic ETH Reserve will be loving any of these pullbacks. They have managed to actually, pick off many of them, particularly the Tom Lees of this world. And of course, when we had this dip, what was happening? Tom Lee was buying. And look here, we had a new disclosure, as we said, I've been saying for a couple of days. We'll get one on the 27th, and we got Bitmine immersion, which we've already seen on the blockchain, right? But we bought another 234,000 Bitcoin on the pullback at $944 million right now. So that's almost $1 billion of buying. So they're now sitting at 2.65 million Ethereum, and they are doing very well. They're still not at 50% of their buying target. So there's a lot more buying to come, folks, a lot more buying. And they're at 44% right now. So they're after 5%. That is their sovereign put, as Tom Lee would say. And that would give them some network power out of all Ethereum. Remember, Ethereum, it's only got 120.7 million Ethereum. It has very modest inflation, has a quasi-deflationary mechanism in there with the EIP 159. And, of course, we have that on PulseChain as well. but that is where we are right now. And obviously, we're waiting for a lot of big purchasing from a lot of these other entities, including SharpLink, Ether Machine, ETHZilla, Bit Digital, Column, BTS. We've got Nexus in particular. We know they've done a $5 billion raise there, so we've got lots of big players. US government, of course, could be coming up. We could find a lot of information about that in October, November. So keep a lookout for that with the digital strategy and so on. So we've got lots of different entities coming in. That could potentially, buy tons and tons of the ETH. In fact, if we go to the SER reserves, move over there, you can see we've got at least 17 entities right now, and I'm expecting this to grow into next year. We could end up being, 40 to 60 entities by the time we get into the middle of next year, for example. So keep a track out for that. We did see that with the Bitcoin boom with its acquisition vehicles, although there's probably only 2 or 3 of the Bitcoin acquisition vehicles that are, of significance. In terms of long-term even viability, particularly for the price. So that's kind of where we are right now. That means that this trend here of buying ETH has been dramatic. Look how quick that is, only in months, right? In few months, 3-4 months, and we have got this new green area, and it is just rapidly accumulating Ethereum there. So pretty awesome. Now we've got exciting times ahead in the next wee while. So if we just look at the SER, that's the SER. So this is strategic ETH reserves, acquisition vehicles, and look at that. The chart speaks a billion words there. It's going to be billions of words. All right, so that is they've been picking off these dips, and Tom Lee's loving it, right? So Tom Lee's he doesn't care. He wants cheap. He wants Ethereum cheap. So if you see, I saw a few people mocking Tom Lee, saying, "Oh, look, the price is down. Oh, price is down. Wrecked. That's exactly what he wants, because he's got to accumulate 6 million ETH. He only has 2.4. So he wants to get it as cheap as possible. And so far, he's been playing the master game there, and picking up there. So we're only in the first early waves of price appreciation, and of course, he's expecting it to go much higher, right? Much higher. So let's put our overlays on. I think I've got the overlays there. Yeah. So let's have a look at the price projections. This is Tom Lee. So he had the bottom end at 8,000 by end of the year, and then he said top between 15 and 16. Even saw a comment about him having a $20,000. That's just in the short term. This is not the top of the cycle valuation, just by the end of the year, and the top of the cycle in probably 26 somewhere, depending on your time frame. I think 27 could be quite bullish too, but we'll talk about that. That's a little different story in terms of the cycle. We'll go with the main narrative there, extending into 5 years, into 2026. So that's kind of the ballpark there. That's kind of where we are. Strategic reserve there for PulseChain. You can see in the yellow, this line down here. So you can imagine if we do hit these upper end numbers by the end of the year, as we get into the sort of the more banana part of the curve, you're talking about a 3x there on the PulseChain SAC, maybe even a 4x there on the PulseChain SAC, maybe even a 4.425 if we get up 16k. So that would be pretty awesome for the PulseChain sacrifice reserve. So that would be pretty cool. Now, talking about PulseChain sacrifice, we've got that on the all entities, and let's go back up to Bitmine immersion. So let's go to PulseChain SAC here. So this is the PulseChain sacrifice, sitting at $668 million. So you do a 4.25x on that. Let's do the quick math. 668 times a 4.3. You're looking at $2.9 billion by the end of the year. That's a pretty quick re-rate. So why would you want to scrape anything off that now? You wouldn't, right? You wouldn't. You're waiting for the billions to come, because the old Ethereum network, under Tom Lee's vision of the world, which is based on a lot of fundamentals which we've agreed, or fundamentals we've agreed about payment systems, stablecoin boom, tokenization, etc. Stock market, moving over into the crypto land, digital information, etc. Then it's a no-brainer, right? No-brainer there. And of course, these guys are helping to make it happen, because all these entities that are coming in, they're long-term players. They've got commitments about being there as network supporters, and just enjoying the staking yield, getting the MNAV multiplier, and creating a lot of value from that point of view. So it's a 10-year play, as Tom Lee would say. All right, so we've got Marshall in the house there. Jason reposted the stream. I appreciate that, Jason. Big shout out there from Gladiator Games. Good to have the founder Gladiator Games in the house. Appreciate the repost. Appreciate that. So this is where we are right now. Bring it on. We're just warming up. Just warming up, guys. Pump the bags. All right, so that is pretty much it where we are right now. We've talked about that. Not too much change. All right. Oh, what the hell? Where are we going here? I've lost my way. All right, so let's get rid of all these weird screens that are popping up. Just as I left. Good thing it happened after I'd moved screen. Should we get into PulseChain? Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for PulseChain? Should we do it? Let's do it. All right, PulseChain, Pulse Gains, and let's have a look where we are right now. Day 871. Woohoo! Let's go. 871 days since PulseChain launched on the 13th of May, 2023. And are we only about to get into the golden age of PulseChain? Is it only just beginning? Are we at the doorsteps of that too? I think we might be, and we shall see. Now, obviously, there's the big play that the PulseChain SAC. We've got to wait for that to get to the billions, so you may not get any use of that even if it was shaved off. But there are far more shorter term scenarios for that too. You could put it into certain protocols, or you not even move it and maybe base a protocol around it. I don't know, all sorts of things you might be able to do. We shall see what happens there. But in any case, there are other funds slushing around as well. Other funds that are sitting idle on PulseChain, bridged over in, 2 months ago or something, just sitting there, waiting for the moment to strike like a vampire in the night. A vampire in the night. We got number 871. We got PulseChain at the moment, quadruple 0355, up 3%. We got PulseX right now at quadruple 0237, up 3% as well. The buy and burn sitting at 7.81%, so that's gone up slightly. And Signum token $1.40, up 2.9%. We got Hex at the moment at 8400th a penny, at up 3.7%, and eHex there having a really good move, isn't it? Back up to 2800th a penny. So eHex there is the star of the day. Obviously, BankX, the talk of BankX, because it's down to about 8 million tokens, I think it was 8 million. Something like $18,000 or something. So that is down, and so people are getting bullish about eHex. We're going to get a bit of a convergence towards PHEX. I don't think it's going to be necessarily 1-to-1 if you take into account, differences around the ETH and things, but maybe that is offset by HexFlex and things like that. So, we'll see what happens in that space, but we could see a much closer convergence with the EHEX, PHEX there. And I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be, unless we get into high gas price environment, and therefore there should be a differential for that, right? Let's go to the gas prices. We've got 900,000 beats right now, 1 cent for a PulseX swap. Looking at the validators, we've got 52,837 validators active. Going to the bridge, that's pretty similar to what we've had the last couple of days. So I think it's gone up just a tad. The bridge value, which is the heart and beat of PulseChain, well, that's up quite nicely, 111.8 million. And eHex, of course, going up to 2800 a penny, has taken back number one spot. So we're now at 27.4 million. But it just so happens I have a snapshot. You guys know it. Snapshot there from the 21st. So that's basically 9 days ago. So we'll use this one. We had ETH back then. We had 6,369. So we're only actually down, 18 ETH from what we were 9 days ago. So that's not too bad. I mean, it's not up, but it's it's not a lot of, it's not bleeding out. So that's cool. eHex though was at 20. We had a similar amount of eHex on the chain, so there's not too much change with the eHex amount. We're up slightly, actually, about 6 million eHex, but the value's gone up, right? So we're at 25.1 million, we're now at 27.4, and it's a number one spot. So we've gone up about $2.3 million, $2.3 million on the old eHex value, but the price moving up to 2800 a penny, so it's kind of cool. DAI right now was 22.4. We're way down on the DAI. I mean, we're at 20.9. So we're down about $1.5 million on the DAI. So that's pretty significant. USDC was 17.9. We're at 17.4. So we're almost not quite $500,000 down. And then of course USD Tether was 5.7. We're at 5.4. So we have lost a lot of stable coins over that 9-day period. Bitcoin pretty much similar, pretty much the same. But the price was slightly higher 9 days ago. So that's kind of where we are. So eHex is saving the day. Yay! Now overall we're about 113.3 million. We're now 111.8. So we're down about 1.5 million from 9 days ago. But EHEX is on the run. So that's probably all that matters, right? EHEX is on the run now. All right. So looking at the Treasury, which we looked at earlier, we've got Treasury sitting at up $75 million. Yay, 12%, and we're back over 700 million. So that's got to be a good thing, right? That is on the old Treasury there, but not really expecting too much to happen with that unless something clever is done with the balance, right? Not expecting really to move, because why would you move it if it's going to become billions of dollars? Why would you even bother, right? So that's probably a timing thing, which raises questions about the pumpermentals for PulseChain in particular time. Now there is obviously other capital outside of this. I mean, people can argue. There's the OA bags. There's possibly the old ETH money from the AA lobby, all that sort of stuff, and there's lots of different options out there. And there's Hex Goldwell and RH himself who decided to do anything, all that sort of stuff. Obviously, disclosure is an important part there. So some of those may or may not be brought to bear on the old PulseChain. And of course, there's new protocols and things like that. So there's lots of different options that could be leveraged here, including getting anyone that does NASDAQ listings or anything like that. All sorts of clever little things like that could really raise a lot of new capital into the PulseChain. And of course, we talked about that with particularly with Rackham Michelle Coinwell and possible connection there. Maybe the Hex Investment Trust comes out of nowhere, and now that the SEC's we're free from the SEC, and with a favourable SEC, that we could get something happening there too. So there's lots of different avenues. Obviously, we've got the Sun Minimal with the investors in the Europe. So there's quite a few things where PulseChain could grow its tentacles and really amplify its weight in the world. So we'll keep a lookout for all those mechanisms. All right, so that is kind of cool. Let's go over to PulseChain, and we'll have a full look at the PulseChain chart and have a look. This is on the weekly. We can see that we've got some sort of hammer last week. We've got a green week this week. So let's quickly look at the weekly candle. We've gone green. Pretty cool. Was the bottom in here at 29.53 and basically 3,000. And we're back ready to go higher. That would give us nice little higher lows, and we got a nice little structure happening here. That is on the old Pulse. We've got Dewey Scum in the house there. Yo, greetings all. Good to welcome. Diamond Hands there with the old mask face, or is that grinning face? Grinning face. All right, so we got on the week we're looking pretty good on our PulseChain sitting at 47. So we've got a good positioning here for PulseChain to really do a rally into this final quarter as well of the year, along with the rest of the market. Nothing really holding us back. Dewey Scum says we are ready, and then some. Get some old TA gurus saying 100k. BDC says Dewey Scum. I'm ready for it all. There we go. Welcome. All right. So quadruple 03552 right now. So that is where we are on the chain there, and we have beaten the downward trend. Remember, that is the downward trend, that blue line there, which I normally have as orange, but it's blue this time. And we have managed to get back onto that line. So we just pierced through it. We bounced off our secondary support line. Remember that? We bounced exactly off that basically, and now we're back onto the first support line, ready for the rumble, right? Ready for the rumble there into Q4. That's the green line there with the green up chart. So let's see where we go from here, guys. Plenty of room in the RSI. Everything is looking pretty set. So yeah, that's all I've got to say. What else? We're going to go into the PulseChain. Let's do it. We're going to be able to find it there. Let's go to PulseChain overall. So that was the Pulse chart. Let's go to PulseChain. We've got $12 million in volume, so still pretty low in volume. Coming off the weekend though, into Monday. So we were at like, was it 8 million, 7 million? No, we were 7 million. Was it 8 million? Somewhere really low on Sunday. We're coming up to 12. We're still on low volumes. Obviously, we'd like to see this get over 20, 30 million and move up from there. At the moment, we're 243,000 transactions. We've always got new coins, and I'm not endorsing any new coins, but this is just what's happening with the list. So yeah, all right. So we got this winner coin right now. I've been around for 12 hours. It's up to 2,751%. Now, some of these new coins have been honeypots and sophisticated mechanisms, so be very careful with a lot of these. So yeah, just any new coin, do your due diligence. That we're having a lot of more sophisticated setups for scamming people out of their crypto. Those include doing AI sites that look like real DeFi and they're fake DeFi, things like that. So we've got the websites with slightly different names, like Liberty Swap Bridge has, there's a scam bridge out there with slightly different letters around there as well. So just be careful. Just be careful with those sort of sites. Make sure you don't FOMO in anymore, because it really is very dangerous out there, right? So just be careful out there in the crypto world, particularly on PulseChain at the moment. So take care. We've got Zendog right now, been around for 7 months, up to 40%. We've got Zero Trust, been around for over a month, and that's up 32% there. We've got Peacock right now, the meme coin. Peacock right now on the meme coin's up 29-30%. It's having a nice little rebound on Peacock. Got really oversold in it. And we did talk about the bottom being in there. And we've got the little thing down here, remember? So we had this little channel. It's gone like that far. Now we're busted out there, 50 on the RSI, so it's still got room to move. And it looks like possibly the bottom was in there at 0.2 of a penny. Now it's 3200th of a penny. So that is the play right now on the old on the old Peacock. Now we're looking forward to Battle of the Memes, right, from Coinarchy, which is going to be launching presumably at the same time, if not just after Coinwell from Rack and Rochelle and Ms. Rochelle, who's the new CEO. We'll keep a lookout. Doge there, pump tires, up 20%. We've got 9mm, the DEX, which is the second biggest DEX on PulseChain, up 15%. And as you guys know, we've talked about, once we do get a bit of a roll on PulseChain, we're going to get a rally in the old DEXs, and we're already seeing a little bit of a blues clue here, a bit of volume coming in. And looks like we've come off the bottom there at 8700 a penny for 9mm, and it's now at 1.2 cents. So not bad. Actually got to 1.4 almost. Which is pretty cool. So we do expect the big DEXs on PulseChain to re-rate, and this is probably no surprise there. So looking at the volume right now today, we got 1.1 million. So it's still modest, but it's on the up and up there. We do know a lot of the volume being made on 9mm is from the Richard Heart cause and its own token itself. So those are kind of what's driving 9mm volume. In terms of 9-inch, which is still quite low, 126k, not a lot happening there. Hexy Bastard came back a couple months to go on next, but we haven't really still seen a lot there. He may trigger some stuff in the future. He did, they did get $16 million in their sacrifice raise. So I don't know if he's going to apply even a fraction of that. That could help a lot. But at the moment, the volume is mostly solid X driven, right, from Firewall, which is 86k there. This is a quick breakdown. All right, so let's jump back to our list here. So 9mm, a bit of on a re-rate today. Nice to see a bit of a market making coming in there. DevSet number 8 is up 14%. We got PDI from OG WebChef up 13%. Then we got Swarm at number 10 up 13% as well. So those are our top 10 today, up 13% or above. So not a huge day, but nice and green there as well. All right. What else do we got? Number 11 is Pump Tires Die, up 11.5% there. We got Hex Pump Tires at number 13, up 10%. And those are kind of, we've got 13 coins basically above 10% on trending here right now. And a lot of pump tires in there. Pretty much. We got one DeFi project really in there. One DeFi project. We got under 10%. We've got RSI World number 14, up 9.2%. Secret Conspiracy is up almost 8% as well, been around for 5 months. Teddy Bear coming in from James Maria at number 16 to 20. All those peers up 6% also, almost 7% on some of them. And then we get down to Staked ETH, the PulseChain fork there. And this has been a fun thing in PulseChain is because PulseChain is a full system state fork or copy of Ethereum on the 10th of May 2023. We've been able to see price discovery, right? And also Hart's law in motion around liquidity. And it's been a fun time. And, even though we had the SEC dark cloud over PulseChain from the 31st of July 2023 all the way through the 7th of July 2025. So for 2 years or something like that, we've actually now got the chance to be free from any regulatory oversight or legal oversight, and now be a chance to really fly. And so it's going to be, I think, pretty incredible what we see happening with PulseChain. Obviously, we did say maybe 30 to 90 days that we could see not much happening on PulseChain apart from the initial relief rally. because that's often what you get. Sometimes a lot of people think, oh, we can just fly straight away, but actually, you need a few months under your belt before you start getting the market start to move up for that big uptrend. And we're pretty much around that now. So July would be to August to September, October. So we're actually, the timing is perfect, right? So let's say the 7th of October is 90 days afterwards, or 3 months. That leads us into also Q4, the bullish part of the bull market cycle. So the timing is pretty perfect. So yeah, that's pretty neat how things aligned, right? UFO right now, number 22, up 6%. And of course, Sparta there with the Hex endowment there is, or Hex Treasury, up 5.7% as well. Pepe meme is up 5.5. So I do think we're going to have quite a cool meme coin rally, especially with pump tires, out there as well. Now, only a small fraction of the pump tires managed to, become king of the hill and migrate to PulseX. But it's added a lot of opportunity for meme coins. Now, I do think there's a lot of communities on PulseChain that think doing a meme coin's easy, right? It might be easy if you're the first guy to sell, but everyone else, it can be quite challenging. You are running your own sort of business, so it's not, if you're doing a meme community, you are running a business. I mean, let's be frank about it. You may have some costs involved as well. You might think it's going to be costless, but actually, if you think about being seen, if you're going to stand out amongst everybody else, you normally have to spend a bit of cost, either on graphics guys, on promoters, etc. And you just don't know how you got to build a community. You got to make the community highly engaged. You got to do a lot of memes. You got to be creative. You got to make a lot of partnerships. And at the moment, I see a lot of communities out there are closed communities. They think that if they close off their community, they're going to make their brand strong and they're going to be good. But actually, it weakens them. It weakens them because they just close themselves off. And I think they should be at least quasi open. In other words, they should be, welcoming in other people. Who's doing that really good job of that? Who's doing really good? Well, we actually see not the meme coins are doing a good job of that, but the farms. We see a good amount of the farms, maybe 2/3 of the farms have got an open-minded thing where they make partnerships and collabs, and they get a lot of partnerships, and those are the ones that are doing, I think, really well in that front. So thinking of Emmett Farms, thinking of Nexion, thinking of what's the other one that I was thinking of the other day? We've got the Vox Farms are doing quite a bit of that. They could do more of it, but they're doing that. Function On it needs to do a bit more. I think Function On has got doing a little bit, but could do a lot more. So yeah, we've got there's one more farm I'm thinking of. I've just forgotten it right now. Doing a good job actually. It'll come back to me. Hopefully it'll come back to me. It's a bit later, but that's the place there. So yeah, if you're going to do something like that, just try to be open-minded. Try not to be emotional. Try to think rationally. All that sort of stuff, and then get out and do memes. Memes every day. Meme. That's all you can do. Memes. What do I say? He who memes wins. That's what I say. He who memes wins. That's my quote. Maybe it's not mine, but I think it is. We got 26. We got number 24 right now is Unity, and that Unity's price is $1.48, so that's adjusted as we expected. So no surprises there. It's still early in the piece. We have looked at that from time to time. It's up 5.5% today. BFF is another OG web chef, if I remember rightly. That's up 5.4%. Scrolling down a little bit further here, we got Treasury Reserve Tay, and we got Uptober. So we got James and Maria in the mix there. Bit of ex-USDC, I guess, associations. We got Troper, all down there. So Troper, they're right in the 30s there. What else? Top Hat from Crypto Coffee. Arguably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, and if you look at different metrics, influence in the game. 4.5% right now. We got X up 33, up 6% as well. Who else? We're just going down here, looking through our top moves here. Solid X Trader, the pump tires at number 37, up 4%. Pulse Puppy up 3.6%. Curve at number 39, up 3.5%. And Solid X, which is we are expecting big things, right? Solid X coming up in October with X Game, obviously. And Solid X, they're getting dramatically sold down. Actually, obviously with the X Game on the pump, we probably saw a lot of capital move between the two. But Solid X is the one that's going to have all the staking in it, and the bank accounts and the credit cards and things like that. The buy and burns from all the profits. So it's probably a pretty good discount there. Bit of controversy around the LPX setup, but the pros and cons out of that. I think all the pros will probably be pretty good as long as the LPX is not compromised in any way. And if it is, then I think it's a bigger issue. Not just a big issue. If it was ever compromised for SolidX, it would actually be I wouldn't say an existential issue completely, but it would certainly will probably wipe out a big part of the bull market if we saw anything happen in that space with that amount of money. That being said, it would depend also on the Magic Carp ride offset there, which is a magnitude bigger, right? Magnitude bigger. So yeah, it would certainly be a big event if it was. So let's fingers crossed nothing happens there. BBC token for 9-inch exchange up 3.3% as well at number 41. RhinoFi is sitting at 3% there. They've changed their tokenomics a little bit around preserving their pulse for the future fight when pulse rallies. So nice little discount price in there right now for RhinoFi with the old charging network there. We got Dow token number 45 at 3%. ALGO Hex derivative at 3% as well at number 46. And then we've got Hex coming into the top 50 along with SolidX peers. That gets us to the top 50 there, and they're all up about 3%. So that's kind of where we are. I think we'll finish at the top 50. Those are where we are on those. We'll have a quick look at some of the ones that are above the top 50 to see whether there's anything of interesting there. We've got 9-inch at number 60 there. Not really a lot happening in that space. Yeah, you can see it's still on the bottom there, and the volumes are not really justifying a re-rate. $100,000, it's not really there, but you got to keep a close look on Hexy Bastard because he could pump a little capital in there. It's only got 121k liquidity, so could move that pretty quickly. Love.io, we haven't really seen anything from these. They said they're pretty much going to trigger when they see the bull market on this. So have they got anything on their playbook? Have they got is the app actually going to launch? Is there they got some networks they're going to use their incentive with Love.io for entertainers? Lots of question marks there. But we remain open-minded there. And so if they surprise us, good stuff there. So all the best Anders and team. What else? We've got incentive token all running through the top 60s and 70s. Then we get to 72. We got a few others here. So let's scroll down there. We've got Trump and Most Wanted, some of the top pump tires down here, a little bit down as well as at the moment. And we've got Source and Mini at number 78 as well, up slightly. So, Liquid Loans down here as well, number 81. So it does look like we've got 82 coins that are in the green right now, although PulseChain, remember, is up about, 3.5%. So a lot of these are down against PulseChain at the moment. Then we've got X Game, which is not really doing much at the moment, pretty flat. But man, look at the price. Price is pretty awesome, right? Is at 2.2 cents. So this has played out really, really well. The RSIs are super hot though. On the RSI, even with this game about to launch, and even as successful as I think it's going to be, it's at 91 right now. So I do think it needs a bit of a retrace here, at least a consolidation for a period of time. But what am I? I'm not the market, and we're at 79 right now. 79, and then a 4-hour lead too is there as well. But this is coming up for a launch soon. I think it's going to be an incredibly successful protocol. Multi-chain, big founders like the founder of Base Chain promoting apparently is all from Firewall, and all the rest of it that's going with it. So keep a lookout for that. 22. Now, this is the interesting aspect about this is that Firewall is doing something very clever, and that is he's already got Solid Trader, which guys we have talked about. He's already got Solid Trader on Telegram. Remember that on X, which a lot of PulseChain community is on, right? On X is about 560 million monthly average users on X. About 560. It hasn't really been growing very much recently. Now it's been increasing in its dominance, I think, of news coverage. Because it's the closest thing we've got to a proper news platform in the world now. But Telegram itself has over 1 billion monthly average users. Now there's a different platform, different barriers within each platform, etc. But actually, it's 1 billion users nevertheless, and on the average users. And now Firewall is entering onto this with Solid Trader. So we've got a full-on trader, protocol basically, which has got limit orders, profit and stop losses, and all that sort of stuff. Very, very fast and efficient. And that is on Telegram. But now he's also going to have X Game, the big decentralized casino with all its games. The first game is going to be a crash game. That's going to be on Telegram as well. Even though it's multiple chains, it's actually really the base chain is PulseChain, and of course the capital is going to come back onto PulseX and off the SolidX, etc., for the benefit of SolidX, both in rewards and buy and burn. So it's a pretty huge deal. But the big theme here is that it's going to be expanding PulseChain's reach onto Telegram. And that's the big story here. Not only, obviously, it's going to be an amazing, I think, successful protocol if all things go well as we're expecting. But I think it's actually the big theme that it's going onto Telegram, and that PulseChain itself is extending itself just from the blockchain purely over not only just on X now, where it sort of dominates, and now onto Telegram. And I think that big move there is going to be pretty awesome. So it's a huge opportunity for the community to expand on, and something that could go through tens of thousands of Telegram groups that could potentially operate. So obviously there are certain barriers and limitations, but in terms of between each Telegram group, but actually could be a really huge thing for the expansion of not only Xgame, but a big thing for PulseChain. And I think something maybe a lot of people haven't quite fully caught on to yet. So that's why I wanted to highlight that there could potentially be a whole new market, twice the size of X. So obviously it's going to be fun to see that be taken up. The opportunity is there. Expansion is going to be fun to see play out. So anyway, we got remember 30% referral bonuses too with the Solid X games, 30%. So people on Telegram are going to like that, right? People on Telegram are going to like that. All right, so there we go. 2.2 cents right now, and holding pretty strong right now. But the RSIs are hot there. What else we got down here? We got Finvesta down here at the moment. So that's pretty down just slightly. We've got Bria, the other meme coin, sitting at 29. So not too much movements there in the old Bria, down almost 1% there. We've got Sparta and Teddy Bear. We've got Teddy Bear Takeover. Had a little bit of a bounce the other day, down 2% right now, but not doing too much. Little bounce there, not doing too much right now. But RSI is ready to run. That Teddy Bear RSI is ready to run. In fact, let's have a look at Bria since we looked at Teddy Bear. What's the RSI looking like there? Well, it's really cheap, right? Look at that down. It's not like Bria. It's not as bullish as Teddy Takeover. It's at 44, but still well below 50. And that chart there looking ready to run there as well. Now, obviously, questions are, who's supporting it and etc. Where that will go, what support it will get in Coinwell, Coinarchy, things like that. We've got Vouch right now, the number one validator, down 3%. And this is doing pretty well, isn't it? We're at quadruple 6,800. So has this reached market valuation? It looks like it has. It's bounced off quadruple 53 now at 6,800 here. So moving back up here, and it's the number one validator, and they're adding validators all the time, which is kind of an incremental little increase, takeover expansions. You just got to be. It's a long-term protocol, so you got to be sitting there for a while. But it's doing pretty well. PTC the Greys down here as well. And, Vouch and PTC the Greys, interesting they're together today, because I think that's where PTC the Greys been hit a bit, is probably from the Vouch capital flows. And we've got PTC the Grey here right now, just coming off the bottom from the looks of it at 22. The RSI is definitely, on the almost oversold period. And so there's probably not a bad opportunity sitting in here on the old PTC the Greys. So look at the weekly chart. That's the weekly chart right now. So yeah, it's trip 026. So yeah, if we're going into a bullish quarter, could be quite a good move in there. Once I see it, I do think there's a little bit of competition between Vouch and that. All right, we've got a couple of comments in the chat, so we're going to get to a few of those. How are we doing for time? 58 minutes, not bad. So that is some of the big moves in the top 100 that we've covered. We've got a few comments there from Dewey. See what any of these here. Let's scroll back up here. Jerry says, are you guys feeling, are we going for a good, strong 28.6? Yeah, we talked about that earlier. 25, 26 looking good. Yeah, so hopefully we'll pick up all the volumes there in the Q4. What else there? Yeah, there's been a lot of scammers around, that's for sure, lately, getting more sophisticated, so everyone's got to be on their toes. Don't fall for some of these clever scams for sure. Let me look here. What else? So we've got Blair in the house there. Hi all, good to see you, Blair. Welcome to the chat there as well. All right, so let's jump on to some of those. That's where we are right now with the old game. So we're going to have a quick review of some of the cool things that happened over the last sort of 24 hours. I've posted them on X. We had the monster thread, right? So the monster thread is out. So we're going to have a quick read through this. It was monster thread number 21. So big shout out to MVS Crypto, now called Bill Biller on X. If you're on X and you see Bill Biller, that's MVS Crypto. And he is back on with the new account. So this is PulseChain Weekly Monster Thread number 21. Richard's Bridge, Empress Strip Bases, and Birthday Boys. So I'm going to give you the link in a minute, but we'll read through some of the highlights. And this is really, really cool. So Richard's Bridge, Richard Hart announced PulseChain Bridge update V110, adding internet money as an option as well. So big shout out to KG and internet money. That was a pretty cool thing there. We do have some features updated as well from one of the posters. This poster is called BPK, and they have got there was wallet connection fixes and updates, so that's really cool. So smoother experience, QR code support updates, so their general performance updates, RPC handling updates, enable fallback RPC URLs options added as well, and then some minor big bug fixes as well. So that was really, really cool. So people were happy about that. So some nice updates there on the bridge. We've got a giant new influencer, and I've said this before, but we've got a lot of the female influencers are really dominating PulseChain right now. And let's just be frank, they're doing a lot of the hard work, a lot of the leg work, and it's great to see. It's fantastic to see. Normally, we always think of crypto as a 90-10, 10% females, 90% males. But in PulseChain, we probably got, I don't know, probably 60-40, 70-40, 70-30, where PulseChain female influencers are really doing a lot of the legwork right now, which is pretty cool. Obviously, there are lots of males out there like the Crypto Night Show and like Crypto Paradise and others, Crypto Coffee, Somi, etc. But actually, the female influencers are doing an incredible job right now on PulseChain. So very big shout out. And we have a new one, a very big one, PulseChain. So we have been adding on some very big influencers in the PulseChain community. Recently, of course, we had Xavier, who's got 480,000. He's come on as the president of PulseChain. And now we also have the Empress, Crypto Empress here, 106,000 followers. And she held her first Hex plus PulseChain, the Ultimate 101 quick dive with co-host Fast Abdul, Crypto Joey, and others. So pretty cool, and got some big support there. So she's got a very professional setup too. Her style is the professional style, as you can see in the image. And so it was pretty successful and had some huge viewership as well. There were over tens of thousands of views. Now, you got to remember, she's bringing in a lot of new crypto and non-crypto community onto PulseChain. So just like Xavier brought a whole ton of entertainment people that like entertainment to PulseChain, she is also bringing a lot of crypto people and non-coiners as well to PulseChain. So a whole ton of new audiences are being onboarded by these very large KOLs, right? So this is really exciting. And of course, they had about 3,500 listeners, which is very large, right? It's getting very large for space there. So that was really cool. So we welcome Crypto Empress there to the PulseChain community. We also had some good general crypto information over the last week, and US crypto support. Dev Juang there shared a Watch Guru post that the US House of Representatives has sent a letter to the SEC supporting the opening of the $12.5 trillion 401k retirement market to crypto. And of course, this is just another major capital catalyst into crypto, and it's ginormous, right? It's one of the big ones. So very cool there. That's good news for crypto, and PulseChain obviously will benefit from that too. Hyperlane is live, of course. This is massive. So we've had some massive news last week leading into this Q4 expectation for the end of the year. Hyperlane is live. This is potentially going to open us up to 130 chains. Also give us a backup to the official PulseChain bridge as well. This is a real game changer for PulseChain. Very exciting to see that. So Hex Scout posted PulseChain just leveled up. USDC via Hyperlane is live with mentions from Coast Tide, and they've got these integrations going on with Coast Tide, which is a new balance of V3 fork, and that's already opening up the stablecoin liquidity as well as high yields for stablecoins on the old Coast Tide balance of fork there, as well as Batias is also doing the routing there. So pretty exciting. We've also got information that Ramp now, one of the other new bridges that we got earlier this year, we'll also be using it and opening up on PulseChain soon as well with Hyperlane. So it is a game changer. Now, in other words, we're opening up all these liquidity pools to 130 chains and also the bridges between them. So we're taking away all the barriers to entry to PulseChain and ushering in the chance for all this capital to flow onto PulseChain. And a few green candles here and there, a few little gold mode candles, and suddenly everyone is flooding through those chains. That's the idea. That's the idea. Still got a few months to sort of ramp up the liquidities and open up all the chains. But this is beginning. It's pretty exciting, and they're moving as fast as possible. So, and we've had some really good results. This is really fundamental. That's why I'm sort of pausing on this moment here a little bit. Hyperlane is a big deal, and you can see the interconnections between a lot of the other cool bridging utilities that we have on PulseChain, and of course DeFi as well. Very cool. PulseChain goes gasless. Another cool thing. Liberty Swap, of course, one of the others that has been opening up to 40 chains. They're going to open up 40 chains. They're still on the progress of doing that. They're also going to bring us a lot of privacy solution. That's also opened up. That they have gone fully gasless. So reducing those barriers to entry to PulseChain again. For those that are not, very clued up around crypto in particular, they can now bridge USDC to PulseChain now completely gasless. So fantastic stuff happening there with Liberty Swap. So you can see the foundation's been laid for PulseChain. We got rid of the SEC on the 7th of July. It's almost 3 months from there, and now we've got all these chains opening up, to PulseChain, and it's really exciting. We also had some birthdays. We've got to mention that. We had Hexologist there having a birthday, and we also got Access Alive having a birthday. So two of our very large PulseChain influencers, and of course having a good time there. So pretty cool. I think that's Expensive Taste there as well on the right, giving good old Access a birthday hug there. Now the other one, of course, is 100 episodes of excellence. So we've got small influencers as well, doing some really cool stuff. 100th episode of the Aussie Crypto Happy Hour. That was really cool. You got Jexer in there, you got Bass Radian, you got YNG, Fast Abdul, Hex Enthusiast. So that was pretty cool. It doesn't matter whether you're small, medium, or big influencer, you'll get covered in the PulseChain Weekly Monster Thread. Why? Because it's all about the community. So it doesn't matter who you are. If you're out there doing something cool, you will make it into Monster Thread. I'm not kidding you. And if you go back on all the 21 Monster Threads so far, you'll have seen a lot of people from all over the PulseChain getting in the Monster Thread. It is pretty exciting. It really is a celebration of what the community is doing, as well as all the cool DeFi, GameFi, etc. on PulseChain. Gabriel loves PulseChain. Talking about that, Gabriel receives more PulseChain and Hex merchandise, showcasing it to the community. And this is pretty hilarious. This guy's been pretty funny, and you guys know it. He's been pretty crazy sort of guy, it's been pretty funny stuff with the old PulseChain stuff he's been getting there. So let me have a look. We've got a little video here. This one here. So Hex merch keeps coming in. He says, send me your packages. That's his address. And he keeps opening it up on the screen and having a crazy time with it. But he's getting PulseChain t-shirts sent to him, Hex shirts sent to him. It was pretty funny. And he pleads everyone to stop sending him the shirts, which is pretty funny. He's getting huge views on these, 55,000 views. I think his first one with the iPad was even bigger. It was like 250,000 views or something. I think it's a bit further down. We'll have a quick look at that. I'm not sure how far down it is, but we'll keep scrolling. He's got here more tablet. I should have sold that tablet. Obviously, someone sold the tablet for thousands of dollars. Remember the so-called first one? He's got 137,000 views on that. So he's getting some really good attention there, and it's really funny. His dark humor is pretty funny there on the old tablets. And that's the one there. So this is the first one he got on the 17th. I received some interesting Hex crypto merch in the mail. And of course, it's the iPad. Of course, he opens that up. And you can see that stuff there. And so you can see him drawing on there. It's pretty hilarious. So what has he got there? I love Richard Hart, is it? Something like that. So he puts it up at the screen. I love Richard. There we go. And he's got 327,000 views on it. So some really cool stuff. You add all those views, it's about 500,000 views. And it's just one influencer, right? But this is sort of stuff that social media loves, right? So pretty cool there. So that is a big shout out to Gabriel there. We do find it very humorous and pretty hilarious. What else there? We got Very nice there from the Dewey. He was wildling. That tablet went for like 2,400. Yeah, the one on the what is it? I forgot the store, but anyway, it went for $2,400 American. Yeah, not Amazon. What was it? Another store, but I can't remember. We got PulseChain meme season. Crypto Girl. So we got another influencer who's been around for a long time. She used to be called Hex Girl, was she? Hex Girl, but Crypto Girl there. She's been around for a long time. She's been disappearing for a little while, but eBay says Dewey. Dewey says it's eBay. Thanks for that, eBay. And Pulse. She's a PulseChain advocate, and she has did a X space there, and it was really successful. It's called "It's a Meme Season" on PulseChain, and got good appearance there from Execute. Execute holds a lot of the X spaces on memes, so that was really cool, and lots of other people turned up as well. Shirts for James. Ozchong is a proud wearer of PulseChain t-shirts, so that's what I said. You can be anywhere in the PulseChain community, you'll get on here because people are doing cool things, and I love this picture. Very, very cool, and they got the PulseChain t-shirts on there, looking very, very cool and very proud. So a big shout out to James and presumably his son there. What else do we got? Warehouse Hive volunteers. Now, you guys know that at the moment they are working very hard, I think, in California with the Warehouse Hive warehouse, and that is working on all these iPads that Richard Hart and other backers, big supporters, have funding and getting out as a big marketing push for PulseChain. Now, we're expecting, based on RG3's comments, up to something like 1 million of these devices to go out before December. They're getting volunteers coming in with RS Griffin, who's managing all this warehouse, and they've expanded apparently the warehouses into a couple of adjacent buildings, and so they're really ramping this stuff up to get something like 40,000 devices out a day, mailing, got to get mailed out and everything else. It's quite a lot of logistical work. Well, Crypto Bella, who is volunteered, you can see Crypto Bella there. Crypto Bella, there's a little picture there. Hope you guys can see it. I don't know if that shows up there. Is that little Crypto Bella? So that's Crypto Bella there, just to give you an idea. So Crypto Bella went to the warehouse as a volunteer. Just an example of one of the volunteers. Had a fun time for Richard Hart Hive iPad promotion. So that was pretty cool there from Crypto Bella, and you can see the post there. I did this yesterday afternoon. It was so fun. My heart is full from laughter, light, kindness, and conviction. Grateful to be a part of the PulseChain there. And of course, that was in response to RH Griffin asking for 15 volunteer spots, which is pretty cool. And they're going to be running for 3 months. They provide meals and snacks and stuff like that. So it was pretty groovy there for the Hive. So that's all working. Yeah, they're working to get all those promotional iPads. Are they all going to be? People were joking because I know Dewey Scums put the $2,400 dollars there, but people were multiplying it by the number of units that might go out, and then making a market cap, which was huge, and I think it was in the billions or something. I can't remember, but it was pretty large. PulseChain on Spotify. Now, we talked earlier about Xgain expanding over onto Telegram. Very clever move there for PulseChain. And now we've got also DJ Credit Nat out there expanding a little bit onto Spotify, which is really cool. So What the Hex episode 137 sentiment check is now available on Spotify. That was cool. So nice little expansion there on other platforms, which is very, very cool to see. Garo Hex jackets. So we talked about other, the T-share merches that we had from Oz Chong here. But we also have people doing sponsorships with PulseChain stuff, right? So Gario Hex there spreading brand awareness in local communities, showcasing Hex sponsored rain jackets for small children stuff there. So that was pretty cool. And we got a couple of snapshots of that. So you can see some of the information here. It's got Hex ads and some of the magazines for the local community, over 2,000. We'll probably read that. Also, there was some Hex jackets there. So Hex.com, Hex sponsored rain jackets for the local children's football team. Isn't that cool? So Garo there doing some pretty cool stuff there with the old promotions, using some real innovative things there. I think there was a little something else there as well. What was it? Yeah, there's a little room here. And of all the kids in the sports there. I guess is that rugby or something? Sports club, yeah. First ever sports club to hold a Hex treasury fund. How about that? So they got their own Hex treasury fund for the sports team. Is that rugby? I think it's rugby. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. All right, so that is pretty cool from Garo there. So just what I'm saying, there's little pockets of stuff happening. It's really cool. PulseChain list upgrade. PulseChain list added a PulseSwap major upgrade. So PulseSwap there is Pulse Coinless big swapping site. and they're now 5 times faster routes and up to 50% cheaper gas. So we've got all these on-roads to PulseChain, all this swapping on-chain, cross-chain, whatever, is all getting better and better on PulseChain. So it's very, very cool. Dirt bike racing, Vets in Crypto there shared a video of a dirt bike track show. Now he's got this cool hat called Make Hex Great Again. It's really cool. And he was at the bike racing there, dirt bikes. So I know many of the guys like bikes racing. I'm sure some of the ladies do too. But that is pretty cool with the old dirt bikes. Isn't that cool? Not something I grew up with, but I can appreciate that people enjoy that sort of thing. All right, what else there? Proteus milestone. So Proteus, of course, is our biggest DEX aggregator. So they aggregate all the DEXs, and Proteus there impresses with over 2.7 million swaps and more than $4 billion in accumulative volume routed in the past 2 years. So big shout out and congratulations to the Proteus team. I think that's pretty impressive. Yeah. Joyce says it was funny. It was funny. I think you were talking about what we were talking about up here. Something up there. I'm not sure what that was, but maybe it was to do with the comedian guy. What was the guy way up here? What was his name? I forgot his name. Gabriel. Yeah, Gabriel. Pretty funny. All right, so where are we up to? Proteus milestone. And finally, we got the X Game Telegram expansion, which I mentioned earlier. Will be playable directly inside Telegram, building upon Solid Trader, expanding PulseChain's reach onto Telegram's 1 billion monthly average users. Isn't that amazing? So this is a very clever little strategy here, and maybe something that hopefully we're highlighting how important this could actually end up being. Successful X Game, a viral X Game, a killer app on Telegram as well. It's really a game changer, not just web-based, but Telegram. They're pretty huge. We also had some honorable mentions there. Crypto Witch shares 2 common women in crypto. Did a cool artwork there. Not sure if we've got that straight away. Let's have a quick look so we can find that artwork. I think it's down here a little bit further. Here it is here. That's the artwork there. You can sort of see the little picture there. You got here. That's the artwork that he did. Inspired by a photo of 2 strong women together. So it's got a wild SJ, I think, in sequent flowers, I think it is. So pretty cool. All right, that one was Ben Sierra there, talking about hex yields. Now, Ben Sierra is one of our 3, what I call analytical influencers, and Ben Sierra there covers hex yields and ETH mining, and he's constantly giving us analytical reports on all that, which is pretty cool. So big shout out to Ben. Pretty cool. The other thing, of course, is that we saw, the end of the season for Pulse of the Fallen, season 1 that came out. So 14 chapters, had lots of influences in there. So pretty cool. Big shout out from Somi and Joshua Wu, our Wildest J. There were lots of influencers just involved in doing voiceovers and things like that. So Dirty Crypto there, Tiger God Crypto, and they all got into the anime series. So the Pulse of the Fallen anime series with Hog as the main character did very well. There are now 14 chapters you can check out on the Pulse of the Fallen. It is PulseChain's premier anime series and pretty much intertwined each other. So pretty cool. You can watch all the chapters there. And, of course, Hog trades on the market. So pretty cool. Got some good shout out there from Somi. I think Somi is on. So some good stuff there from Somi. We also, obviously, Gladiator games we covered earlier. 3 tournaments now, and we're coming out the 4th tournament next weekend. You should get yourself ready. Join up the Gladiator games, get yourself some Gladiators, get them equipped with all the armor and gear, do some practice fights with the AI fight and battles, and get ready for tournament number 4. And the prizes will probably, as the game grows, the prizes will probably grow with it. So we're looking pretty good there. $650 in tournament 3. And what will this weekend be coming up? So keep a lookout for that. Gladiator Games is on the move. So pretty much the full game on PulseChain at the moment. And there's an easy, if you go to the monster thread, there's an easy step-by-step guide how to join up. And of course, Rome Token is trading on the markets, and good opportunity to get in there. We've got RhinoFi, of course, with the Pulse there at the moment, Pulse charging. They are getting ready for Rumble, waiting for Pulse to arrive, but their 28-day charging cycle is working very well indeed. And you can get a good little dip in the market and pick that up right now. So kind of cool. They also distribute over 1 billion Pulse rewards so far as well, which is pretty neat. It's from Riderify. They're a great team. One of the great teams that are doing really good memes. So if you're a meme community and you're looking for a team that gets out and does memes really well, this Riderify is a great example of that. They're just terrific with their communications. So hats off to them. Keep up the great work. We got Radon, of course, Radon out there with the Radon yields. So you can earn nice Radon yields on Nexion. Of course, Nexion is launched their new Glow product, which we're going to talk about as well. You can see nice little yields there for APRs on the old Radon. Nice little good entry there on Radon at the moment. And of course, Pat paired with Envy token. So they keep on doing the good work there with Crypto Bro and the team. Got a lot of the animations, right? Look at that. Wow, that's awesome. So right on there. That's pretty awesome stuff. All right. So yeah, and the big news, of course, come out is that DeFi is just exploding on our PulseChain, and Nexion Glow is taking the next level. Now, if you think about what do we have for perpetual offerings on PulseChain, well, we have famous PHUCs, right? So that's pretty cool. We recently, of course, had Tide those are balance of forks. So we had the GMX fork, of course. The famous launch there with GMX launch, and we've can do up to 30x on there, but it is limited, right? It's limited token options. Well, now we have Nexion Glow, which is 10x leverage, and virtually it could be any project on PulseChain as long as you put the liquidity in there. You could eventually run up 10x on leverage, not just on tokens, but also on farms as well. So this is an additional innovation on PulseChain. So this is a game changer. It is brand new, and it has pushed the frontier of DeFi offerings on PulseChain. So nothing like it, really. So this is really, really exciting. So Nexion Glow, 10x leverage unleashed on PulseChain. So if you're after some leverage options on the old PulseChain, or you want to get some earnings from providing liquidity, you can do that too. If you don't want to, borrow and take liquidity either on tokens or token pairs or farms, then this is something for you, and it's brand new. So this is from Psycho, and I think Leaf and the team doing a great job with this. So well done to that. So yeah, it is alive, and I can't say we've been waiting for this for quite a few months. It is here now. So power up your DeFi game by supplying assets, unlock credit and leverage, and stake Neon for multiple token rewards in the Hollow Vault. It's your ticket to 10x leverage on PulseChain. So if that's something that fits your risk return profile, there's definitely something worth checking out. They also have earnings, so you can provide liquidity for APRs. So that could be the conservative option. You can also do the borrowing from available lending pools up to 10x, and of course power farms up to 10x as well on farms as well. So imagine earning that high yield at 10x leverage. Pretty awesome there. They have PulseChain core tokens and stablecoins via fiat. So that's reputable brands. They're also going to be opening up power farms to Better Bank and a Vouch as well. So the big value there. So that is pretty awesome. You can see the site's amazing. Look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo. They've done a great job with the UI. Looking so good there. So a whole ton of new features announced there. If you go right to the back there, you can see the earning part. These guys have really done a great job. So, and this is part of a broader ecosystem of Nexion, which is pretty cool. You stay in control. So not only can you earn, borrow, and power farm, but you can actually you stay in control, which is a really nice thing that they've allowed to do. So the Smart Glow system, jump in with your first borrow, power farm, or trade, and boom, your account auto opens. What happens to your funds? They stay in your wallet. So it's the mechanism they're using, which a lot of people like. And of course, you still got your leverage position or whatever, but monitor your health factor. There is a health factor in this. Obviously, got to stay golden above 1 to avoid liquidation. So you always just got to keep that up there. Do good risk management. Manage by adding collateral or repay debt like a boss. And APIs are crushing it across Pulse and PulseX, etc. So Power Glow there is looking pretty good. That's the power farm. And so you can sort of see it's got a dashboard, earn, borrow, power farm. Leverage, I don't think it's open yet, but it's coming to be opening soon. So it's a new feature, a new benefit there. And then the stats there as well. So more coming from the old Glow team there. So a big shout out to Psycho and Leaf and the others. Looking pretty good. Also, Neon is the main token from Nexion, one of our top 6 or 7 farms, right? And so Neon there is something you can pick up right now as well. So not bad. And I gotta love their little animation here. It's pretty cool. Smiling anime girl. Anime girl? AI girl, I should say. AI girl. So not bad there. That is pretty cool. And obviously the Crypto Night show is on every week, so you can check that out. So let me scroll all the way back to the top here, and I'll give you a link to this. And don't forget to share it around to a lot of people that are new to PulseChain. So this is the PulseChain PulseChain weekly. Monster thread number 21. 21 weeks, guys. I mean, amazing, yeah. 21 weeks. So that's it there. What else have we got to see? PulseChain weekly monster thread number. Let me just decrease that a little bit there. So that's it. So it's good for a read. So if you're busy during the week, it's a perfect place to catch up on all the hottest news on PulseChain, DeFi, GameFi, people. It's kind of the thing. Richard Hart's always in there, of course. And of course, also for if you want to onboard new people, they can go on and find out what the vibe's like on PulseChain, learn everything up pretty quickly with the monster thread over the last week. But guess what? It's actually over the last 21 weeks because there's 21 editions of the monster thread. So a big shout out to MVS Crypto, the editor-in-chief of the monster thread, of course, a publication from the Crypto Night Show. And I hope you guys are enjoying out there. We live and breathe PulseChain, as you guys know. I've been streaming around Hex and PulseChain for about 6 years. So there we go. It's a lot of fun to have, to be able to celebrate that. So very, very cool. All right. What else there? We've got a couple more comments. BMU says, have you seen Pulse Guy today? No. We've kind of finished our token coverage at the moment, BMU, but pop in tomorrow and we'll have a look at that. We didn't really talk about that specifically. What else there? So that's pretty much it right now. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. That is kind of cool. We're up to an hour and 26 minutes. I'm gone over time about 10 minutes, but hey, what's it amongst friends, right? What's it amongst friends? All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget, Q4 is coming. Uptober is kind of the main takeout today. The monster thread is out. PulseChain is starting to see some green candles. So let's see if we can start getting into some 10, 20, 30% days. And that'd be cool. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah. Dewey says, hell yeah. Very nice, suit, man. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take care, and don't forget, if you want to join the socials, Discord links in the video description, Telegram links in the video description. Join up the Strategy Club today. That's awesome too. Only $35 a month. I talk about a lot of things in there. Don't talk about online. So get in there, folks, and get real. Hey, we've got the community leader from the Discord jumped in. Good to see Wookie in the house as well. Were you at the beginning, Wookie? I think you might have actually been. Maybe you popped in. Yeah, I think you did. Actually, I don't see him there. He must have just popped on now. So Wookie is our community leader in the Discord. So big shout out there. And he is a master golf player. So yeah, it's going to be good. All right. BMU says it's ripping up. Looks like things are good play. Dewey says good night. Have a good one. Thanks. And Wookie says there, much love from this Uptober PulseChain style, says Dewey. Yeah. All right, take care, everybody. Left it on the wrong comments, but it's the way it goes. I'll catch you tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, daily. All right, bye for now. Bring on the pump. That's all we can say. Bring on the pump. Maybe we might get one of these too. Actually, let's go back to this screen. Let's go back to the screen because I've only got it on this one. Maybe we might get one of these. You just never know. Just never know.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment, because it's easier to get them, because it takes less economic energy, because there's less of it for sale.